Good morning, everybody. Welcome behind the scenes here at Jamie Riddler Studios. I am Jamie, and it is Monday. So did you get up to some wonderful creativity this weekend in your studio? What did you do? What inspired your creative heart? And how did you find yourself expressing your creativity this weekend? It doesn't have to always be in the obvious things. It doesn't necessarily have to mean you got into your sketchbook or you painted or you danced. It could be that you expressed yourself in other ways, like you went shopping for clothes or you made a cool meal. And I know that this weekend was about food in a lot of ways, food and visiting. I got the chance to visit with my father-in-law, Chris, who's here from Holland. Hey, Chris. And my sister, Susie, is here too. Hey, Susie. Oh, and that reminds me, before I forget, I want to tell you that my sisters and I host a show called Start Creating As We Go. And tomorrow we are running that show live, hopefully from my kitchen. And so you can join us. I'll leave a link below. It's free to take part. You just have to register, and then you'll get a URL about where to show up tomorrow at 2 o'clock p.m. EST. So we're going to have a 90-minute show. We'll be taking your questions and talking and chatting about our creative lives. Years ago, my sisters and I had this creative conversation around my kitchen table, and we recorded it as a special episode of my podcast called The Sister Summit. And we enjoyed it so much and got such great feedback that became our show, Start Creating As We Go. So I hope you'll join us for that tomorrow. So it's funny how visiting often becomes so much about food. Do you find this too? For us, it's like food and conversation are the key. So we've been out for dinner a few times, and we've made dinner a few times. In fact, yesterday, I made for my sisters and my husband, I made lasagna. And it was just funny to think back that I have literally been making this lasagna recipe since I was like probably an early teenager. Since when I lived at home, I used to cook for the family on a regular basis. And this lasagna was really one of the big hits. And it has been ever since. I love making it. It is a part of the Jamie repertoire, part of my portfolio of cooking. And it was such a treat to make it again. Do you have recipes like that too? Ones that have been with you for a long, long time? Recipes maybe that you got from your parents or that you discovered and just love so much they have become a part of your world. Justin and I have those too. We cook together every day, which I just love, that we both finish our day of work and then our sort of meeting place is together getting things ready for dinner. And it's amazing how over the years we kind of have this dance of cooking, these things that he automatically does that are a part of the recipe, and the things that I automatically do as a part of the recipe. It really is like some kind of ballroom dance where he knows the steps he's meant to do and I know the steps that I'm meant to do, and together we form this beautiful dance and hopefully a really good meal. Of course, my sister Susie is Susie the foodie, and so that is a part of her energy. It is a part of her creative life in a deep and profound way. And I loved that when we were having the lasagna, she shared that when she was a girl and mom would make lasagna, that mom would let her eat some of the freshly boiled noodles. And that was such a powerful memory for her, and such a positive one. You could literally see little Susie on Susie's face when she was telling us this story. And I think food does too, hold the stories of our lives, as well as giving us a great gathering place to share stories. We'll be doing major gathering this weekend for two things. One is Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving here in Canada next weekend, so I won't be here next Monday because it'll be Thanksgiving, and I am hosting the family, so that means a big turkey and who knows what else. I haven't decided. And for that meal, it's actually Shannon and I that do that dance. She's often hosted, I've often hosted, and we really have a rhythm of how we create Thanksgiving dinner. And that's sort of a fun thing to be able to share next weekend. Also on Friday at my house, I'm hosting Journal Jam. Remember how I wanted to do that in the summer and I was feeling super sensitive about it? Well, that event had to get canceled and it's been rescheduled, and now I am just excited. I often think that when something doesn't turn out, what's really happening is some sense of divine timing. I really trust that when something gets canceled or rescheduled, that there's something at work here that's making sure the right thing happens at the right time. And I find that when I trust that, I just experience a greater sense of ease and a greater sense of joy. And I think that has definitely happened with Journal Jam. So what is Journal Jam? Just in case you want to host one on your own, and I hope you do, I am just inviting my friends over with their journals to hang out over a potluck dinner, some tea or some wine, and we'll just write in our journals or glue in our journals or doodle in our journals. And it's a really nice thing because it's a really low pressure way of hanging out. You always have something to do. If you want to chat a little, you can chat a little. You can go back to what you're doing. You can respond to what's going on by capturing it in your journal. And I'm really, really excited to have my friends over for what I hope will be one of many journal jams to come. You know what's funny? A while back, I said to my mastermind group that I missed hosting, that it's something I really enjoy and that I missed it. And now suddenly here I am. And just this week alone, I'm really hosting 4 things. Start Live, which I'm hosting tomorrow, Journal Club, which will be on Friday, Journal Jam, which will be Friday night, and Thanksgiving, which is going to be on the weekend. So I asked for it and I got it. Also, we've just stepped into October. So, I haven't finished cleaning my board. Okay, hold on. Much better. So there are a couple things I always leave on here. This is something my mom said to me that meant so much. She told me I had a good heart. And so I keep that there to remind me. And then I have the Journal Club spirit animal, and that'll stay up for the season. And if you send me anything, and my P.O. box is below, then this is where it will show up and that I can share it with everyone. It's so exciting. Calendars have wonderful images and that are great for collage, particularly because they're a little heavier. They can be great for covers of books. But I often find when I leave it to the end of the year and then I've got the whole calendar, I don't do anything with it. So what I've started to do is every month I cut off the picture ahead, not right at the seam or your calendar will fall apart, but I give it about an inch. And then I cut off the top and then I incorporate that image in my journal. So this is my journal right now. And then this was, isn't it beautiful? That was one of the, look at the color story. Look at all this red that's showing up for me this fall. So this was what was on my calendar for September. And now it's become, my segue into October. What I also did today was I took the quote that was on it and I cut it into different words and I created a word pool. And from that word pool, I am going to make a found poem. So I wanted to share the words with you so that you could play along. So I think the easiest way to do it is to share with you a picture. Feel free to hit pause. So have fun with those words and creating a poem today. And I hope that gives you an idea for how to use your calendar too. I'm already excited for the week ahead. Clearly it is going to be full. I hope it will be wonderful. Have a wonderful day in your studio. Remember, your life is your studio, and I will see you on Wednesday.